Welcome to Chicagoland Speedway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 400. Today we get ready for the Walmart AI Cup Series. As you can see, we're going to get your lineup ready to go. Austin Rez in the number 2, lining up first on pole with George Kirifides in the number 4, second. John Bergermouth Jr. in the 36, third. Nicky Sophias in the 1, fourth. Alex Pavridis in the 29, 5th. Laban Van Leer in the 60, 6th. Chase Wozlowski in the 17, 7th. 8th. Nicholas Bondanello in the 71, 9th. Xavier Dawkins Batiste in the 22, 10th. Dennis Sharp in the 5th, and the 5. 11th. Georgia Kirifides in the 10, 12th. Austin K. Mitchell in the 8. 13th. Season 1 champion Simba Kirifides Jr. in the 34. 14th, Christos Cherney in the 27. 15th, Robbie Gervasi in that 28. 16th, Luigi Diaz-Gonzalez in 44. 17th, Lenny Kirifides in the 15. 18th, Peter Hilme in the 77. 19th, Scruffy Dog in the 14. 20, Kostaki Korovesis in the 12. 21st, Jordan Kirifides in the 21. 22nd, George Kirifides Jr. in the 35. 23rd, Buddy Morales in the 99. 24th, Cuddles Morales in the 16. 25th, Cameron Face in the 18. 26th, Perry Marilakis in the 7. 27th, Yannick Sidias in the 29. Or in the 69. 28th, Robert Thompson in the 23. 29th, John Bergermouth Sr. in the 38. 30th, Vince Henschel in the 3. 31st, Yuri Villegas in the 33. 32nd, Charlie Birch in the 81. 33rd, Nick Sedaris in the 31. Astro Kirifides is in the 11 in 34th. Jordan Jung, 35th in the 6th. And finally, Zach Mers, 36th in the 06. Well, we got a good race going here as we get ready to go green very soon. And I think we have a visitor. Well, we're getting ready to go green very, very soon right here at Chicagoland. So we get ready for the O'Reilly 400. 55 laps here. A very exciting race. In the Xfinity race, or in the Publix race last night. But now we get ready for Cup racing and a fight for the championship. So we get rolling. It's going to be a big race for a lot of drivers. Specifically, we're looking at Nicky Sophias and John Bergermouth Sr., who look to win their 3rd race on the season. And tie a record just set by Bryson Moody just yesterday night. So we get ready. Austin Rez, you're a pole sitter in that number 2. Fords lead the front. Penske and GKR. With JBR and then 2 RFK cars in the back. Green flag in the air. And a great jump for the 2 on the restart. And while a great jump for the bottom line, John Bergermouth Jr. is going to get a slide right into second place. George Sherfield is going to have to push for third. And now, here's where the lines matter, and behind, they're going to get swirly, especially if they go 3 wide. Caution is out. Well, 2 laps in. And Vince Henschel, I think, went around. Not big damage. Zach Murray's with some damage on the front end, though. We'll take a look at what happened. Let's start up more in front, so. All right, let's take a look from Kostaki Corvus in the 12. Right here, just everybody sliding up into the wall, and whoa! A bunch of cars got loose. I'm guessing we're going to have to look behind. Maybe the 99 or the 35 has a better chance of showing us what actually happened here. So everybody gets loose off the corner. Oh, man, what a save by 35. And everybody behind, though. Now we're going to look at the Vince Henschel incident, specifically with 31 of Nick Sedaris, who seemed to have clobbered somebody. Yeah, Vince Henschel gets in the wall, and oh, he clobbered the 81. And everybody's involved. And Robert Thompson takes a huge hit into the outside wall. And, well, once again, he's got another week where he's just unlucky again. Let's take a look once again at this incident. So, yeah, skips, almost escapes relatively unscathed, and then gets hooked by Perry right into the fence. He's got some front end damage now. Still in the field with that front end damage, but how will it affect him later in this race? And that's what we're really going to ask ourselves. But a huge crash. Well, let's start off this race, and a lot of cars in the pits with damage. Well, right now, nothing extremely large happening, but a lot of cars with damage after that first turn slide up. Green flag, back in the air. As Austin Rez fired off, and he's still in the lead. George Kyrgios on a good run with that top line. Bottom line looks to be very weak in this race today, and well, there goes George down there right now. Bottom line looks to be very weak if you can't run it, because right here, you can see George tried to put it down there, and unlike Xfinity, where you could just rip the bottom and make it stick, that doesn't help. Middle line looks to be the way to go, and, well, now you can see George is really pushing that middle line. He's going to have to try to get, and not make the same mistake again. He's going back down to the bottom. You got to stay in the middle. Right there. That's, nope. It's off that corner. It's, I don't know. They get slowed up. We're going to go on board with him when he tries to do that, actually. Because I really feel like in this situation, when you're taking the bottom, yeah, it's just like you're off the throttle. Get back on the throttle and push. And that's the most important thing. You're going to see it right here, actually. He's not going to drop down on the inside yet. The 2 did, though. Here's the interesting thing. Now there's the 2. 2 drops down on the inside. And here comes George Kyrgios to take the lead. Side by side. Well, not really. Not anymore side by side. But they're down. Now they're both going to go to the bottom. Yeah, the bottom is just not working, I don't think, at this track. It's going to be a middle to top line domination track. So everybody who's really in it is going to have to take a look and just go. And there goes George back to the bottom again. That's going to give Austin Rez a chance to try to take the lead, but he comes back up. Smart decision by that 4. Trying to just run that, but even still, the 2 is very fast. Right now, I don't know what he's doing on the bottom line. It's not giving him a good run. It's being in the bottom line, and eventually the 2's going to pass him again. That SKF Ford Mustang of Austin Rez. Behind him, Talladega winner Nicholas Bonanello. John Murmouth Jr., who has not won a race this season. He is the only one who has not won a race this season from that team, except for Simon Kyrgios Jr. I lied. My fault. Nicky Sophia's also behind there, and we're having an issue with the. There we go. I don't know why that disappeared, but George Kyrgios leading lap 12, and Nicholas Bonanello going to try to fight with that too. Do have multiple cars still in the pits fixing damage, and one car 9 laps down. That's Nick Sedaris, and here comes Astro Kyrgios out of the pits. Well, we talked to him before the race, before the broadcast. He was very adamant on trying to get the race car out and trying to win a race, and just has not been this season for him. And I really do think that EKR is going to lose some drivers after this season, and most importantly, Astro, I think, is going to be one of them. Ooh, he's great run by the 2. He's going to try to take the inside. Now remember, we're gonna see exactly what happens when you take the inside, but yeah, he just lost. He just decides to slow up so much off the corner, and it just doesn't work out. There is a team that well, realistically needs drivers. And if Astro Kyrgios does depart from that team, it's It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. It just has not been working for him here. And, frustrations and driver moves under silly season. It's just, that's how it works. And here comes Austin Rez with a huge run on the bottom. He's going to make the pass back for first. Nicholas Bondanel looking in as well. And he goes back to the bottom. As long as George continues to run the top line, that's going to be the really big point of success for him in this race. Now, 16 out of 55 laps, there's still a lot of time left in this race, so don't count anybody out. Right now, that 4 Mobil 1 car is leading. Well, no new silly season announcements quite yet, but we're going to get them soon. As Austin Rez a huge run on the bottom again. They're going to go side by side. Now let's see. Is he going to dump it into the bottom again and lose the run? Yes, he is, and that's not working. I mean, the point of you got to adapt to the track conditions, and it's not really working. George has really realized that the bottom is not really working unless you're able to come down onto it. But even still, he's been running the middle line a lot more often, and it's working better. Like now, Nick Bondanel is going to have a shot at passing the 2. Now they go side by side. You see right there, and he got to the bottom. Oh man, that's not good. But realistically, if a second-time winner wins this race again, there is a huge shot that there's a shot that a points leader who wins or who doesn't have a win will make the field. So a lot of drivers who are not able to get that first win, they can make it in on points in general, which is going to be a big thing for these races. And new points format new point standings and updated point standings come out next week after next week's Cup race. And we'll see. Because that's Atlanta. After Atlanta, we're going to see who's really leading the point standings. As we're 21 laps through this race, we're going to go to a side-by-side commercial break sponsored by Top Speed Graphics. Super Late Model Series. Well, those are two phenomenal ads for our other two series, the Best Buy AI Truck Series and the Publix AI Series. And now, fighting for the lead, Nicholas Bondinello and George Kirafitis up front. Chevy versus Ford. Austin Rez has dropped back. And we're 26 laps through this thing. So, really looking at a great run from these teams. And well, they found their way through. "28 laps through, almost 30 laps. We're almost halfway through this thing. I think we're over halfway through this thing, but you know what? Lap 29. And the 4. Still in striking range. Look at the 71 getting a huge run off the corner. That's going to be big when it comes to the end of the race. Now, if he just keeps the high line, there's a way to run this thing through down the back straightaway. Well, we're 30 laps through this thing. Almost 25 to go. $25 to go here from the O'Reilly 400 in the GKR AI Series Walmart Cup Series. George Kirafitis trying to continue running up front to try to get another win for GKR this season. And they're coming into pit under green. So let's see the pit strategy. Can the pit strategy work? And the first pit strategy, well, we're going to take a look right here now. George Kirafitis comes in to get his stop through. Gas and go. And let's take a look. Austin Rez now coming out. I think the 4 is going to go a lap down. He's going to try to keep from going a lap down. There's a shot. But now, Austin Rez is to the bottom. His teammate's going to take the lead. Xavier Dawkins-Batiste. Austin Rez slowed down a lot. Thought he was out of fuel for a second, but no. 21 to go. Pit stops are underway. Chase Mazelewski in with Scruffy Dog and Charlie Birch. All gas and go. Now here comes Xavier Dawkins Batiste in the 22. Flying into the pits. Also rid of Zach Murs behind. And George Chirafidis is going to not take the lead. Jordan Jung still pushing out front. A bunch of lap cars. Everybody else coming out of the pits. Let's take a look at where George Chirafidis is. Yeah, he's going to get the good pass on him. And Jordan Jung coming in now. Now onto the back straightaway. This is going to be the big... Up 34 spots. Jordan Jung is trying to flip the script here. It's going to be a shot. Definitely going to be a shot. He's got to get out of the pits fast. I don't think so, though. George Chirafidis, back up to the lead after pit cycles. 19 to go. And well, Robert Thompson finds himself, with the damage that he had, up to 5th place. Phenomenal run by George Chirafidis Racing in the 23. And he's going to have a great run and shot at trying to win this race. As Xavier Dawkins Batiste is in the wall. Caution comes out. And well, oh! And the one goes around. Sophias gets it cooped up and ready. And we are under caution once again. I guess we could take a look at what happened here. Slowing down for the caution, and Charlie Birch just got into her, and she goes around. And, well, coops it up, no damage. But now we gotta take a look at what happened to the 22. Well, we saw what happened on the 22, but you can take a look actually from the perspective. Right here into the corner. Astro slides up the racetrack. They get into each other and into the wall, destroying the steering of that race car, and the caution came out. Second caution of the night with 17 to go, and now we can take a look at what's going on with George Chirafidis. It looked like it was going to be clean getting to the end, but now could be running into a big problem. Astro Chirafidis into the pits. He's going to get some damage repaired. And we're going to restart with 15 to go, or 14 to go. Green flag, back in the air. George Garfitas now. Remember, the bottom line, if he could somehow hold the middle and in the wall goes Cameron Face. Dennis Sharp is also off the racetrack. I think we just saw something huge happen. And go back. Oh, that was like a mini crash. Hold on. See right here, Dennis Sharp in the 5 gets into the 35, into the wall, and collects multiple cars. And big damage for Dennis Sharp. Nicholas Bonanello takes the lead now as he is flown away. Now it's going to be an uphill battle for the rest of the field to try to get him. And Bondanello now, George Garfitas dropping heavily. He's in the middle of this pack. Robert Thompson onto the bottom, dropping. Off the corner, a huge run, though. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Everybody does. Well, PlayStation Motorsports in the lead with the 71 of Nick Bondanello. And now, see, trying to make a pass on the inside. It's not going to work. And he knows it. He knows it, and he still does it. He was good for most of the race. And now, just letting that 71 run away with it with 8 to go. So now the rally of Fords comes by. Down the back straightaway. Chase Mazalewski. A good run in that 17. And here's George. There he goes. He passed. There you go. Now he's closing the gap. That's going to be the big thing. George's got to run this racetrack correctly to close this gap within the next 7 laps. And he runs the bottom again. I don't know what we're doing, but we are running the bottom. And it makes 0 sense. Just run the middle. And Chase Mazalewski on the outside. He's going to make the pass for second. Well, Chase Mazalewski with big damage. Now he's going to have a chance to catch the leader. I mean, the way they're leapfrogging over each other seems to be working in a slight. Because Bonanello keeps going down to the bottom. Chase is not. Well, he did there, and now that's what's going to cause this. There's a shot. George is back onto the rear bumper. He could leapfrog him right here if he pushes him down to the bottom. Here he comes. Leapfrogging. There you go. Keep leapfrogging. I don't think it's going to work because it's not cutting down as much time as you want it to, but if you could just run the outside. Stop dipping the car down on the inside. It's not working. Bondanello, another issue, and he did it again. If George Kirifides would just run the outside, he'd be totally fine and pass for this win. But now he's just letting the 71 go. And now he's gone. Boom. It would have worked. It still would work if you'd run the middle. But he's not going to do it. Down back to the bottom again. Slowed down tremendously. And they can't leapfrog again. Just continuing to push forward, and behind them they're too wide. Bondanello with 3 to go. Oh, he has an issue. He's coming down pit road. He is coming down pit road. And now it's a fight for the finish with 2 to go. What just happened? Look at John Bergermouth Jr. now. Here comes John Bergermouth Jr. George Kirifides up the racetrack. Chase Monzalewski going to take it 3. 2 to go. John Bergermouth Jr. to the lead with 1 to go. White flag is out. This is really good for JBM. Nick Bondanello in the 71 had a problem. He came to pit road. And now Chase Monzalewski is going to have a chance if he can crow hop, but I don't think it's going to work. George Kirifides stuck to the bottom. John Bergermouth Jr. They're going to have one shot to get to him, but it's not going to be enough. John Bergermouth Jr. is going to win his first race on the season and lock himself into the playoffs. Well, it was a win waiting to happen, and he finally did it. My goodness. Chase Monzalewski, 2nd. Charlie Birch, 3rd. And Bergermouth Jr. finally gets the win, and he's going to lock himself in. Now, 1 car on this team remains to lock all 4 in, and that is Season 1 champion Simba Kirifides Jr. Well, we're going to take you to the scenic view and get your race results. John Bergermouth Jr. wins the race. Chase Monzalewski in that 17, 2nd. Charlie Birch, 3rd. George Kirifides, 4th. Austin Rez, 5th. George Kirifides, 6th. Austin K. Mitchell, 7th. Buddy Morales, 8th. Yannick Diaz, 9th. Alex Pervitas, 10th. Robert Thompson, 11th. Jordan Kirifides, 12th. Scruffy Dog, 13th. George Kirifides Jr., 14th. Luigi Diaz Gonzalez, 15th. Zach Murs, 16th. Jordan Jung, 17th. Peter Hilme, 18th. 19th is going to be Eleni Kirifides. 20th, John Bergermouth Sr. 21st, Simba Kirifides Jr. Christos Cherney, 27th. Nicholas Bondanello, 23rd. 24th, Laban Van Leer. 25th, Nick Sedaris. 26th, Yuri Villegas. 27th, Carlos Morales. 28th, Perry Marilakis. 29th, Kostaki Korovesis. 30th, Cameron Face. 31st, Robbie Gervasi. 32nd, Dennis Sharp. 33rd, Nicky Sophias. 34th, Xavier Dawkins-Batiste. 35th, Astro Kirifides. And 35th, Vince Henschel. Well, what a race from Chicagoland. As the last turn of events between the last 5 laps were absolutely insane. But it results in JBM locking another car into the playoffs. We thank you for watching the AI Cup Series. And we have Atlanta next week for all 3 series. Thank you for watching.